What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are returning to UC 105 and Hathaway's Flash. Last time, Hathaway was on board the Houndsman when a group calling themselves MAFTI hijacked the plane. Also on board was a girl named Gigi and EFF officer Kenneth Slegg. Hathaway was able to take out the terrorists and get control of the plane. This time, Hathaway will be questioned by the Investigation Bureau. He flirts with Gigi and meets with his contacts. So let's get into this. The terrorist base jabber ended up damaging the Houndsman when they hijacked the plane. They're diverting their course from Hong Kong to Davao in the Philippines. This happens to be home to Kenneth's future base. A man comes to talk to Hathaway. It is Mr. McGovern, the Minister of Culture and Education Promotion. He knows of his exploits piloting a mobile suit and wonders if the ship is okay. Hathaway tells him that he knows nothing about flying machines anymore, but they will be heading to Davao. Everyone is concerned about where they are heading, but their nerves are calmed when they are informed that they are close to Adelaide, and they could spend their time enjoying the tropical climate while they wait. They are all happy. Hathaway is disgusted that all their ministers forgot that their cohort was just murdered. He bites his tongue. They land and connect to an air dock. In the movie, EFF surrounds the ship and treats the Houndsman still as an active terrorist threat. They also get to use the emergency chutes. I always wanted to use one of those, but never want to be in a situation that requires me to use it. He checks on the terrorists, then checks on Mace Flower. She says that she is fine, but winces in pain when she plays with her hair. The ministers get off one by one. The last is Gigi. In the movie, the two stare at each other. But in the light novel, he wants to say what to her as she stares. But he hesitates, and the moment passes. Kenneth gets off the phone with his subordinates, who are on their way. It seems Gigi was right and these guys aren't the real MAFTI. He believes that there is a MAFTI army being built up in Owenbelly in northern Australia. Kenneth and the Kimberley forces are now essentially MAFTI hunters. One of his men take the terrorists away to investigate them before the local police get their hands on them. Hathaway is concerned about the MAFTI army in Owenbelly. After being questioned by the police, he is then bombarded with praises from all the ministers and their wives. He is then questioned by Hundley Yoaksum, the chief of criminal police organization. One thing to note is that in the light novel, Hindley was in a shuttle tailing behind the Houndsman. But in the movie, he was on the Houndsman. Hey, that's Koichi Yamadera. He also played Gune. Stupid Gune. He knows of his father and his exploits as a pilot during Char's rebellion. Hathaway says that he just stole a mobile suit and he got lucky he wasn't charged with a crime. Hundley wants him to stay in Davao for the day. The airline will handle his hotel arrangements. Hathaway informs them that he is heading to Manadaw, Sulawesi in Indonesia as a biological observer in training. Hundley is very casual about his questioning. But director Gijs Hugest has more questions. He also wants Hathaway to keep this a secret. He didn't like the way the director was talking down to him and left before he was finished talking. Across from him is Gigi. He approaches her and he begins some light flirting. He wonders why she laughed earlier on the plane. She asks him to sit down. He changes the subject and asks how she knew the terrorists weren't the real MAFTI. She says that body language tells all. Also, the reason she was actually laughing was because she believes that the name MAFTI Nabiyu Aaron belongs to Hathaway. MAFTI means Messiah in Abrahamic religions, and Nabiyu derives from Nabin, which is prophet in Arabic. Aaron it's just Aaron. He realizes that she knows he is lying and might have to prepare for a capture. I'm going to break the fourth wall here and point out that throughout the first few chapters, Hathaway has been having an internal monologue saying comments like, "Do they know?" or "Are they onto me?" He never outright says it, but if you're watching this video, it's obvious that Hathaway is MAFTI. This is where I believe the movie actually shines. Hathaway's silence and stoic behavior buries the lead a little better than the light novel. Hearing one's internal monologue breaks the reader's suspension of disbelief, but it does play into the paranoia much more. Hathaway recalls Kenneth telling him that the Kimberley Force's former commander is Kimberly Heyman. His incompetence is the reason why MAFTI was able to move so freely and grow over the past 6 months. Gigi believes that him being on the Houndsman is quite interesting. He says that words could get people killed and to be careful. The conversation goes from flirty to awkward. The Investigation Bureau begins questioning Gigi. He has found himself in a situation where he can't act. When given recon data on this island months ago, he never could have expected Kenneth and the Kimberley forces to get in their way. They planned for an attack as a distraction for Hathaway to flee, but the sooner they come now, the harder it is going to be for him. He can't contact Gauman and the others in this situation. One by one, the investigators question all the passengers. They save Hathaway for last. He wonders if they are setting him up. Gigi eventually comes back over to Hathaway and shows him the hotel card. She wants to wait for him so they could head over together. This calms Hathaway down as it seems she didn't say anything to the investigators. It almost seems as though she forgot about the conversation they had earlier, as she is very cheerful once again. Hong Kong isn't Gigi's final destination. She is looking to head out to Japan. Hathaway tells her that his mother's ancestors are from Japan. Gigi goes, "Oh, stop looking at me like that." She is insinuating that he sees his mother in her. Oedipus would be proud. She says that Mafty's methods aren't the right way. Hathaway wonders what is the right way. She says if you want something without fail, then you need to establish the ideal dictatorship. Hathaway nervously laughs, knowing that she speaks the truth. But what she speaks of is a god, and humans aren't gods. But there are new types. However, a few new types in an old type world does not represent change. Hathaway says that Mafty certainly can try, but the scale in which EFF operates is simply too grand. An investigator comes to interrogate Hathaway finally. Gigi says that she will be waiting for him. Chief Geist finishes his conversation with Hathaway. They give him a card to the hotel and say that he could stay as long as he likes. Hathaway jokingly says indefinitely. Without skipping a beat, they essentially say yeah if that's needed. He heads out to the front to meet with Gigi. He pretends to be interested in his surroundings, but in his head, he is taking an inventory of everyone and their faces. He gets into a pink limo with Gigi and looks back to wave, but he is memorizing the roads. She wonders what is wrong. He whispers into her ears that he doesn't want to put her in danger. This makes her laugh. 20 minutes later, they arrive at the hotel. The Tasaday Hotel is 100 years old. As he passes through the hotel, he notices one of his contacts, Mahesia Hintz. He is relieved, but continues heading up to the luxury suites with Gigi and the bellboy. They enter into the giant suite. He looks around to see EFF base out in the distance. Gigi insists that he stay in her room, even though he wants to take the guest bedroom. He asks the porter if any other people from the Houndsdon flight have checked in. The bellboy isn't sure. Their room is high up, but there are still floors above them. Hathaway realizes that he isn't a guest at this hotel. He is a prisoner. He needs to find a way to escape and meet with Mahesia. As Gigi goes to take a shower, he goes to the other room and grabs a toiletries bag. He grabs some tweezers and pulls out a fake wisdom tooth containing microfilm. He puts the microfilm in his book that he is reading and changes clothes. In the movie, Hathaway simply looks at some maps and does a little bit of cartography. He goes to find her half naked. He essentially calls her a tramp for acting like that when they aren't even dating. This upsets her and she locks herself in the main bedroom. This is exactly what Hathaway was hoping for. He knocks on the door to ask if she wants to go for a walk, which she declines. Now he has a casual reason to leave the room and meet up with Mahesia. He can't let his guard down around Gigi. She could become an ally, but if he pushes her away, she can run off to EFF and Kenneth. He is totally into these paradoxical women. It reminds him of Quest. Uh-oh, Hathaway's in love again. Hathaway pretends to be a normal tourist sightseeing as he coordinates a meetup with Mahesia. They sneak into a car and it takes off. The driver is Kenji Mitsuda. He hands over the book to her and asks about the forces in Owenbelly, Australia. They are 30,000 strong. He wonders if Quacksalver had anything to do with this, but they haven't made contact with him. They are planning for a retrieval of a Gundam. He also asks about the Kimberly Force's movements. They have also left for Owenbelly yesterday. Hathaway realizes that this move was made before Kenneth is officially made commander. Kimberly is panicking, which is good for them and their operation. They also just got intel that Kenneth is most likely testing a new mobile suit at the base. He took the Houndsdon for convenience, but it is slowly becoming a burden. Kenneth has his eyes on Hathaway right now, but they have to go through with the plan. He tells them to attack the hotel near the top since they are somewhere in the middle of the hotel. This will make it seem like he has no involvement, but it is still dangerous. They need to tell Professor Amada that he may be investigated soon. This is the professor he claims to be working with as a biological researcher. He is functioning as Hathaway's alibi. They take Hathaway back to the hotel. In the movie, this conversation takes place throughout Davao as they walk around the city and a botanical garden. While having their conversation, we hear conversations from the citizens, hoping that Mafty takes care of the manhunters that patrol the city. This is the first moment in the movie where your suspicions are confirmed that he is indeed Mafty. The light novel, unfortunately, deprives us of the Jollibee scene where we get to see that sweet Hathaway booty. 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 And that will do it for this episode. We see that the suspense in the novel derives from Hathaway's internal monologue and paranoia. He has to ensure that his plan goes through while also putting on a charade. Next time their mission begins, we will see Galman Noble pilot the Messer, and Hathaway will start letting his penis do all the thinking. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, if falling in love with a new type soon today didn't work the first time, try again. What could go wrong? Peace.